Does God talk about sex? Yeah, he does, family. He goes there in detail. I mean, I blushed when I read this chapter because I was like, yo, Lord, like you could just say don't do those things. You didn't have to go into detail, but he knows us. He knows our human nature. He knows that we're foul, we're manipulative, we're clever, and we love looking for loopholes. We love finding yeah buts, right? Because we're looking for an excuse to continue our behavior because God didn't list it all off in detail. Well, here he does. Leviticus chapter 18, grab your Bibles, family. The whole chapter is about sex, and he finds all of these things detestable. He says it several times. Verses 1 through 20 talks about no sexual relations with a family member. Now, he could just say that, and we'd go, okay. And he's like, no, no, no. I'm going to go into detail of who I think a family member is because he knows us. We'd say, well, he didn't say my stepsister. Yeah, yeah, he does. He says, no stepsister, none of your father's wives, not your brother's wife, none of it. He is not having it. Okay. And then in verse 21, no abortions. Verse 22, no homosexuality. Verse 23, no bestiality. And right there I go, whoa, God, like you don't have to go there. Like we know, we get it. And he's like, do you? Do you? Because y'all, this furry thing that's going around where people are dressing up like animals, it's imitating an animal. When there's that fetish of being a dog, do you see? So you're saying, well, I'm not doing that with an animal, but you're imitating the animal. And God says that is detestable. Do you get it? Now, here God goes on to say that, verse 27, all these detestable activities are practiced by the people of the land where I am taking you, and this is how the land has become defiled. He doesn't do culture. God could care less about culture, family. That's the trend. That's what's going on. God does not care about that. He wants his people to be above that. He has set his standards and expectations to be above that. And he's warning us. In verse 29, he says, whoever commits any of these detestable sins will be cut off from the community of Israel. We know that today as Israel is God's kingdom here on earth. That is going to be the capital of his kingdom here on earth when he unifies heaven with earth. So he's saying we're not going to get into heaven. We are not going to be invited into his HOA if we do these detestable things. Now, if we know somebody who does these things, participates in any of this lifestyle, what do we do? Do we judge them? No. Stay in our lanes. We love them anyway, but we have to do it with grace, which is love plus truth. We have to be honest that God does not accept this and then help them in repenting and finding a better way